How's it going, everybody? GetRec57 here, and in today's video, I'm going to be doing a early Marvel Rivals tier list, based on all the things that I've seen, based on what's getting banned, and based off of what got buffed, what got nerfed, and what's strong in this current season. So, as usual, I'm going to state that this is for my rank. This is what I think that is strong in my rank. And again, my rank is high GM, low Celestial to mid Celestial, around like GM 1, Celestial 3, 2 area. Mostly Celestial 3 is my average. So Celestial level. Some of these may be different for you if you're in either a higher elo or a lower elo. You may not agree with this tier list, but this is the tier list for my rank. Okay, so if you're in gold and you think Penny's really, really broken, newsflash, she's not broken in Celestial. Just saying. So I'm going to be going through it, telling you what I think, and just, making a tier list. So we've got 6 tiers here. Broken is probably needs to get nerfed next patch and is almost an auto ban. S is really, really strong. When characters are banned, these are what you play. And then, vice versa. D is really bad. A, B are kind of middle of the pack. C is just below average kind of thing. So we're going to just go in alphabetical order because that's how it's come. And thank Christ, they finally made the tier list where you have all 3 Deadpool variants. So I can actually put them in different tiers. And you guys know what I'm talking about. And we have White Fox. So let's start off with Adam Warlock. So Adam Warlock is the first character that we're going to be doing, and I'm going to throw him, and he's going to be low B. So I'm going to throw him in B tier. He's going to probably be low B. Adam Warlock recently got the flight buff, I think a patch ago, and he got well, it was just a flight buff, wasn't it? He just got more flight, and he recently got a team up with Storm, which gives him like a lingering heal effect. Now, the reason why he's low B is because simply he still suffers from the fact that he straight up is just not very good at anything. He kinda can be like if you're really good at him and you have good aim, you could do like flank Adam type stuff where you flank around, you drop down, you burst somebody down, then you fly away. But apart from that little niche, his ultimate isn't that great. In most scenarios, his ultimate is just feeding the enemy team ult charge. Sometimes it works, you res your whole team and you win the fight. But if an Adam does a bad res, it's just a waste of support ult. His healing output, while it is bursty, it's very limited because if he doesn't consistently hit headshots, he cannot recover his healing chain. And lifelink is good, but I mean, in general, it's just not powerful enough for the cooldown, in my opinion. So I'm gonna put him low B, easy to dive, and his buffs, while semi meaningful, not good enough to make him really strong. Next, Angela. I'm gonna put her low. She's gonna be low A. Okay. Now, why is she low A? She's gone down a lot. She went down because simply I think she just got kind of power crept, to be honest. Um, she's not that like the kidnap meta has kind of fallen out. You'll see less Bucky, less Wolverine, and all that. Everybody has CC immunity, and in general, tanks need to have a really nice frontline presence or good peel potential. So right now, Angela is not the absolute. She's not bad, right? A good Angela can have an impact. Just she's not that strong right now. She's very susceptible to CC, and her pin is just not that great against the tanks that are really good right now. So she's just kind of mid. And then they kind of nerfed her ultimate. They reduced the HP on the spear, so now it's really easy to break out of. Whereas previously it wouldn't have been that easy to break out of it. Black Panther. Black Panther got some buffs, which finally brought him out of the D tier. However, it's just he's always going to suffer from the fact that he has too many counters, right? Now, the omnidirectional movement on the kick is very nice because it gives him an escape tool outside of his dash, right? So now you can exhaust all of your dashes and then just kick up and away. But to be honest, the damage that they gave to him and the cooldown on the spear is it kind of all gets counteracted by the fact that the only way for him to get kills is through the dash. And characters like the Thing are like purest Black Panther counters in the game. So like if they play Black Panther, the only way you can play Black Panther is you have to ban Thing, and then you have to waste a ban on Thing. So it's and then he could just get countered by flyers, triple support. It doesn't matter. Like he's got too many counters, just not that good. Black Widow is still the like probably the worst DPS in the game now. Black Panther was probably it before. Now it's her. She has always been bad. She probably always will be bad. And to be honest, I don't have complaints because we don't want another Widowmaker situation from like Overwatch where Widowmaker is just broken in Overwatch, right? Because she just one-shots people from across the map, and it's very hard to dive her because she's sitting so far back. So she's probably going to remain a bad character, and I don't see her getting enough like meaningful buffs anywhere in the near future to make her meta because simply it'll turn into a even more broken Hawkeye, and we know how broken Hawkeye was. Blade. Blade got a lot of buffs this season. He got a lot of changes. He got his ultimate got buffed by basically 50%. They buffed his lifesteal, and they also gave him the ability to gain overhealth off of that lifesteal. And they also gave him even faster bullet projectile speed on his shotgun. So everything in his kit pretty much got buffed. And I think he's decent. He's not bad. He's not terrible anymore. He's not a complete throw pick now. The question would be, where am I going to put him? I think I'm going to put him high B. He's still not strong enough to justify going higher, unfortunately. His biggest issue is definitely still that his damage is just really low outside of his ultimate. When he has his ultimate now, his ultimate actually can kill pretty nicely because the healing reduction that you apply to all the players is like really meaningful now. 40% is a lot. So you can actually kill after initiating your ultimate. The biggest problem is he's an alt bot. You'll see I've posted a couple videos me playing him. The only times you get kills with Blade are via ultimate or when like it's such a messy fight that you can stay in your sword form, in your vampire form permanently and just slash everything. However, you'll even note that the time to kill when I'm able to do that, where I could stay in sword form permanently and just slash away, it's just his time to kill is so long that it's kind of like slow, right? So I think they need to buff his damage on his sword form to make him a pure like his name is Blade. He should be a pure sword form character, but you'll find that in a lot of scenarios you're kind of stuck in the gun form. Especially if you're playing against like tanks like Emma and Thing, where you basically can't go in. Um he's like, he's kind of just a gun character. He shoots the gun and then as soon as you get your ultimate, then you go with the sword form and maybe you could do something, right? But I mean, he just suffers from the fact that his sword form is not aggressive enough. He's kind of like Wolverine. Okay, that's kind of how you're supposed to play him, right? You play him as a frontline brawl character, and what you do is you try and permanently anti-heal and shred uh the tanks, right? But if those tanks can choke slam you or CC you or they have some sort of damage resistance, then he can't do that great, right? But like let's be honest, if I went against Groot, Strange, and Magneto every game, this character would be freaking broken because Groot, Strange, and Magneto feed ultimate charge to him and can't really kill him, right? Because they don't really have any stuns. But if you go against Emma, Thor, Thing, like, and then any dive tank, right? Any dive like even like Hulk, Venom, they're decent against him because he can't really kill them, right? Because they'll jump away, they'll swing away. It doesn't like they'll use their shield, their overhealth, whatever, right? So that's why he's not higher on this list. Captain America. I think this character is so bad. And you know what? This is the first time I've done this. I'm putting him C tier. Oh, whoops, sorry. I'm putting him C tier. I've never put Cap lower than B because of his ultimate. I just think he's terrible. I mean, he really needs some actually meaningful changes because he's just bad. I mean, the changes that they gave to him basically didn't do anything, and I think just again power creep is really getting to this character, especially since they technically nerfed his ultimate, because they reduced the amount of ultimate generation bonus that he gives when he pops his ultimate. So this guy is kind of like he kind of feeds like most of the time, right? If you get a really good cap, he can be good, but most of the time this is just a feed character. Cloak and Dagger, first S tier character. I am not going to put her in Broken because I think Broken is reserved for the characters that require nerfs. I don't think Cloak and Dagger needs nerfs. I'm a firm believer in supports are too strong, but I really like when Cloak and Dagger is on both teams because unlike a lot of supports, her kit is not absurdly broken. And you know what's funny is a lot of people would say it is, but I like Cloak and Dagger's kit. I really like that she has the Discord cape because that encourages the support to get into a position where the Discord cape can actually help their team. And the Discord cape promotes damage dealing. It's a support ability that promotes the dealing of damage. And then her healing is not oppressively broken. Like she doesn't have crazy burst heals like a lot of other supports in this game. So she's a long drawn out semi sustained support instead of a burst everybody to full HP for looking at them for 2 seconds support. It's nice and she's not unkillable like other supports. She has a fade, but you can track her through the fade, right? And her bubble, I really like the change that they did where it gives her initial 60 health for walking into it, but then doesn't give her that much sustained healing over time because you can kill her with that, right? So she's actually killable. And then her ultimate, it may be the longest lasting support ult in the game and covers a large amount of the playing field, but it's very counterable. It's not unreasonable to think that you could kill a cloak through her ult because you can. Strange ult, Groot ult, if you use it correctly. Strange ult, Groot ult. Any character that has a displacement ability, right? You could invis pull her out of it. You can Bucky hook her out of it. Spider-Man can hook her out of it, right? And you could simply just stun her and kill her if everybody looks at her, right? I really like support Cloak because her ultimate is not a crazily oppressive. Magneto counters her ultimate, right? It requires the support to actually think while also not being super broken sustain where nothing is killable, right? So I really like her and I don't think she's broken. I wouldn't mind if she doesn't get any changes for the foreseeable future. I think she's in a perfect spot right now. Daredevil. He is A tier, low A. He might even he's not. I'm not gonna put him in B because he's not that bad, but he's low A. He got a lot of nerfs this recent season. So that really put a hit on him because he lost a lot of survivability and some damage. But he's not like terrible now. He's just really like it's a lot harder to get kills. But a really good again, this character is a very big skill check. Like you need to be really skilled to play this character. Even I play a lot of high skill characters. I play like Spider-Man. I play like you have to play. I play Magneto sometimes. I play DPS Deadpool, Tank Deadpool. Characters that require good ability usage and timing. He requires incredible amounts of cooldown management and timing. So I can't even play him to be honest, but he's very high skill. So you need to be really good to get value out of him. But he can't generate as much broken value as he used to before. I don't know what this picture is. I'm just gonna put this down here. But now we have the 3 Deadpools. So I have to say this. I have to get this off my chest. I was wrong about this character. When Tankpool came out, I said he was the worst Deadpool variant, and I said that he was terrible and everything under the sun. I really was slandering this variant. I liked the other 2. I didn't like this variant. He has quickly gone from my most hated Deadpool variant to my most loved Deadpool variant, and for good reason. This character is incredibly good, and I love it. Now, a lot of people would put him in Broken. I'm not gonna put him in Broken because I really don't want him to get nerfed. I really like him. Now, of course, I'm acting like my opinion is going to change, like influence whether they nerf him or not. He's probably going to get another one, but I really like this character. He's a tank that actually has DPS level damage output, and I love that about him, right? They nerfed him, and to be honest, he's still good. I really like him. I really like him as a tank because it gives like Doctor Strange, it actually gives me the ability to fight back against DPS and support. Whereas most of the other tanks would probably lose a 1v1 to most DPS in a lot of scenarios. Tankpool and Strange are two of my favorite tanks, if not my two favorite tanks in the game right now, because they have the ability to fight back and their ultimates are actually influential. He's really Tankpool really strong. I don't want to put him in broken, even though a lot of people would, because I don't think he's broken. I think there's definitely ways to work around Tankpool, but a good Tankpool can be a very influential factor. DPS Deadpool. I'm putting him low A with Daredevil. I think his buff was okay, except for DPS Deadpool's problem is he can't really get kills outside of the ultimate unless you have a full dive comp, right? Because he's still easy to kill outside of his ultimate. Like if he's ulting, he's very hard to kill, and I'll admit that. But he also has a lot of buggy bits about him. His DPS Deadpool's right click in the sword form is incredibly buggy, and so is his jump. So I don't think he's that good right now. At least in my rank. Maybe at higher ranks he's a lot better, but in my rank he's not that great. He's not horrible. Like if you know how to play him and you know you have a really good game, you can do well, but he's just he's not that great. And then support pool is like funnily enough, he's like bad. Yeah. I'm gonna put him high B. Support pool, I still think he can be really good, but I think the problem is people still don't know how to play with this character. I don't think people understand that when you have support pool on your team, you have to play around him because a lot of his healing is AoE, right? He has the AoE right click with the katana throw. He has the AoE E when he pops his E and it does that little healing circle. His ultimate is an AoE effect. I think people just don't know how to play with them, but in general, he's probably not even that strong anyway. So that's how I'd actually rank them. I actually had support pool at like S plus tier when all the Deadpools came out, but now he is kind of just middle of the pack. Doctor Strange. I'm gonna put him high A. Doctor Strange is still a very influential tank, and a good Doctor Strange can be like a game changer. Because a good Doctor Strange can use his ultimate to cancel support ults. Invis and Cloak ult specifically, those two ultimates are very easy to cancel with Strange ult if you use it correctly. He got a little bit of a nerf to his shield, so his survivability is probably a lot worse now. But I still like the ability that he can kill through support ults. He's got the really nice team up with Invis, and he just in general puts on really nice frontline pressure. His biggest weakness is that if they go full dive, Strange doesn't really have any anti-dive characteristics. That's also the biggest problem with tank pool as well, is they don't really have anti-dive characteristics, which is the problem. So if your backline's getting pressured a lot, the best thing you could do is walk back there and try and kill what's diving them. But often times your supports are dead before you have the ability to get enough damage out to actually kill them. Elsa Bloodstone. First character that I'm actually gonna throw into broken tier. So I really didn't like when they nerfed her ultimate because I really liked her ultimate, the ability to cancel and destroy support ults. Another character where maybe I was talking out of my ass a little bit too much. It turns out she is not turns out, we all know she's really broken. She's basically permabanned. The nerfs that they gave to her very minuscule and basically didn't change her at all. Her biggest issue, the biggest issue that we have with her is that her survivability and mobility is just too good. Her 2-second dash is like ridiculously powerful. The biggest problem is you just can't kill her because she gets so much overhealth and so much mobility from her kit that you really can't kill her. It's very hard to kill this character. And then Glartrox is really good anyway. So it's just a really broken DPS right now. Like, it's kind of like if you don't ban her, you should pick her. Emma Frost is jumping right back up to A tier because they decided to buff her for some reason. They had originally nerfed her, like just a little bit, right? They just a little nerf, And then for some reason they said, oh, never mind. We're going to reduce the cooldown on Diamond Form by 3 seconds, and we're going to increase shield recovery time. The shield recovery was fine, right? Me and my brother both thought that she could use some, her shield is already pretty bad, so, maybe give it a little bit buff. But did we think Diamond Form needed a buff? No. Diamond Form did not need a buff. Diamond Form was already really, really strong and really, really oppressive part of Emma, and they buffed it to make it so that she can do it more often. So she can choke slam people more often. And choke slam, because of how oppressively broken it is, choke slam is a kill. If you hit it, it's a kill. Like, unless she choke slams like a really tanky person. Like, unless you if tank pool, what are you aiming at, and it's upgraded, then maybe you won't kill him with chokeslam. But basically, if you get caught with chokeslam, you die, which is so stupidly annoying, right? So she's really strong now. I've seen her picked a lot recently because a lot of stuff is getting banned, tanks and shit like that. So Emma Frost just really, really strong. Gambit. I am very tempted to just put this guy back in broken again. He has been getting a lot of nerfs, and yet he is still permabanned. I saw Flats going through his the bans that he got in his games on the first day, and Gambit is still one of the permabans. Now, I don't know if Gambit is still broken tier because they did nerf him a lot, and then they reduced the ult duration and all this. But according to basically the entire player base, based on the bans, Gambit is still incredibly broken. So I'm gonna throw him back in broken tier. Maybe he needs another nerf. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. The thing is, I don't play against him enough to know because he's permabanned. So I'm gonna put him in broken tier because he's permabanned. Now a character that I'm not gonna put in broken tier, is Groot. I don't understand this. Groot is also like one of those characters, one of the tanks that is like permabanned in my elo. And to be honest, I don't get it. I really don't. I really like, and I'm a tank player, okay? I play Groot. I've played against Groot. I have absolutely no problems with Groot. His ultimate is strong, sure, but that's about it. Outside of his ultimate, Groot is an ult battery. I love playing against Groot because I get to farm him for ultimate, and then he's not exactly a hard kill. He's a big target, and once you break his Ironwood wall, his survivability kind of goes out the window. And since everybody in the game has incredible mobility, the walling people off strat doesn't really work anymore, right? You don't really get kills with that anymore. So he's kind of just there to get his ultimate, right? And then Groot obviously is incredibly strong. It can kill through support ults very easily. It combos with a lot. But I can't even justify putting him in S tier because the last character that I have a problem with when it walks out of the spawn and it's a tank is Groot. I farm him for ultimate. I like playing him when I'm playing tank pool, Strange. And like a lot of DPSs I don't even mind. Like Spider-Man likes playing against him because you just hook him off the map permanently, right? I mean, like there's very little. And then if somehow Groot is a problem, just go Wolverine. Just go Wolverine. I really think this character is overrated as fuck, and I'll put him high A because I know people are gonna get mad at me for putting him in A tier. So I'll put him at the high A tier, but I really don't think he's deserving any higher than that. And the fact that he's permabanned, I never ban Groot because I really would prefer to play against him because I just get to farm ultimate. Next, Hawkeye. I'm putting Hawkeye at S tier. You can kill me if you want. I still think this character is incredibly strong. He still has his ability to one-shot. His ultimate is still incredibly strong. They reduced his HP from 275 to 250, but who cares? Because he sits next to his supports anyway, so it's really impossible to kill him anyway. Because he'll just sit next to the things that make you unkillable. And he's just, yeah, he's still strong. He still has his one-shot headshot, so his biggest problem is that he can just do the damage that he does from the back of the map pretty much. So, yeah, I'm going to just keep him right there. And same with Hela. I'm almost tempted to put Hela in the broken tier because that Hela Namor team up really needs to be removed. But the problem is I can't put Hela in broken tier because her team up with Namor is broken, because Hela on her own is on the verge of not being broken. So I can't justify putting her that high because she's not Elsa, but she definitely is still incredibly strong. I'll put her like up here. Um, she's still incredibly strong, and then the Hela Namor team up is so oppressively broken. I don't know what to do against it, but I can't justify putting her too much higher because her ultimate really sucks. But she's very close to going into that broken tier. Hulk, I think high B. I don't think he's. I think he's better than Cap. He got a lot of nice buffs, and I'm very tempted to almost put him in A, but I don't think he's as good as these tanks up here. He's still very strong, but I think his biggest problem, it's not Hulk himself, it's just the player base problem. He's incredibly hard to play, and I'm very close. Like every time I talk about Hulk, I'm always close to saying he's the most difficult character in the game to learn. But I feel like with all the Spider-Man animation cancels you have to do, I think Spider-Man still takes the cake on most difficult character to play, but Hulk is very close. Hulk is number 2. It's Spider-Man, Hulk. Those two characters are incredibly difficult to learn. I think Spider-Man, because Spider-Man requires more animation cancels and perfect timing, that I'd put Spider-Man over Hulk, but I am a tank player. I've tried to play Hulk. He is incredibly difficult to play because his playstyle is incredibly in and out, and getting maximum value out of his very damage limiting kit is incredibly difficult. The bubble timing needs to be perfect so that you get maximum value. And you have to pay attention to a lot of stuff when you're playing Hulk, right? What you're aiming at, where you are, how much charge you have on your jump, how many seconds you have left on your bubble, because all of it, if you mistime it at all, your health will go away and you're just feeding. So he's very difficult. And then of course, doing Hulk juggling tech is not that easy. So getting value out of his ultimate is also not that hard. However, when you have a good Hulk on your team, you'll feel it because it is incredibly beneficial. Next, Human Torch. Lobi. This character is probably still bad. He did get a really, really nice buff where if he just stops attacking for a second, he literally fully recharges all of his ammo, which is really nice. I really like that part because I really hate when characters resources, like their primary fires are bound to a resource, which kind of doesn't make sense. Just have a regular reload. Give him ammo and make him reload instead of having to wait so much time for all the charges to recharge. So that I can, hide behind a wall when I'm out of ammo and then come back. With Torch, you have to like wait for it to regen, and it's kind of annoying. So I really like that they gave him the ability that just for a second you stop firing and it's kind of like a reload, which is really nice. It'll increase his damage output. I think he's still going to be bad though. He still kind of could just, you just kill him. He's not that hard to kill, and they did a nerf a while back where they made his damage at distance worse, but his damage up close really good. Except for he doesn't really have that much survivability because he got the Invis team up removed. So now, like getting in close is hard because you're just gonna die. So I think he's still bad. He's not. He's higher than C now because of his buff, but he's still not that great. Invisible Woman is S tier, as per usual. She's still incredibly strong. Her pull is still very good. Her shield got another nerf, but Loki, it's still a really, really good ability. And her ultimate is still really, really strong. So, Invis is not moved for the last like 3 seasons. She's still incredibly strong. Iron Fist. High B. Iron Fist still has the problem of he's kind of just a distraction. Getting kills with Iron Fist, while if you run like a really good team comp around him, he can definitely get kills and he can definitely get value, which is why he's above C tier, but he's still bad. He's still not that great. If he gets hit with any stun, he's dead. If he messes up his block, he's dead. And even then, when you go in, like you can't stay in for that long, and since his damage output is not that high, he's very easy to kill, and the only way to get kills is with his kick, but you can't use your kick for kills because you need that to escape. So he's still really bad. Iron Man, I'm putting him right back down in D tier. This character still sucks. The buffs that they gave him did nothing, okay? Because all they said was, we'll extend your armor overdrive duration every time you pick up a kill, but you have to get a kill with Iron Man. It's like that buff basically is non-existent. And then the only good buff that they gave him was that his armor overdrive initiates quicker, so you get your overhealth quicker, so you could kind of use it more reactively. But even then, he's just bad. His ultimate sucks. His base damage kind of just sucks, and he's got the largest hitbox out of any flyer in the game, and he only has 250 health. He's very easy to kill, especially since hit scans are still broken. So he still sucks. Okay, he sucked for a while, and he continues to suck. Phoenix is right up there with Elsa. Phoenix, a good Phoenix is unkillable. Her ultimate is still broken, and her base kit is still broken. So not much to say. Phoenix has been like this for how many seasons? No matter, like, the last time they nerfed her, they reduced her HP by 25 to 250, which it should have been at the whole time. She's still broken. I still permaban her because if I don't and I go against her, I can't do anything. She's too survivable, and her ultimate is really strong, and her damage output is ridiculously broken. Like, it's really, really, like, it's really stupid how fast you can go from 500 to 0 against Phoenix. It's too much damage. Jeffrey. Jeff is. I feel like Jeff got worse. They nerfed Jeff this season. Jeff didn't get any direct balance changes, but they removed his team up with Storm, and that was arguably the only reason to play Jeff. Now, there is still a couple niches where Jeff is good. A lot of main supports are getting banned right now, and when all the main supports are banned, I'd actually argue that Jeff is the next best thing for just base healing, because his base healing is incredibly bursty, and he can hit everybody, which is really nice. His bubbles are, while not the greatest utility in the game, aren't horrible, and his survivability is good because, it's almost impossible to hit that stupid fin underwater. But his biggest problem is that his ultimate still is really bad, right? His ultimate in most scenarios is kind of just a click to die button. If you actually try and eat people, the way you use his ultimate right now, to be honest with you, is you pick an ultimate that Jeff ult is actually good at countering. Star-Lord ult, Thing ult, Scarlet Witch ult. You go underwater, you use the fact that you're immune to damage for that time, and then you should basically eat nobody. You go into a corner and you eat nothing, so that you maintain that healing circle on the ground, and then you could come back to the fight and continue healing, so your team isn't down a support for too long, right? That's how you should use it. And then you can't go for eats on enemies unless you're very confident that you can get a couple enemies, because if you don't, they're just gonna kill you. Like, it's very easy to kill him because you know exactly where he's gonna come up after he's finished his eating animation. So it makes it very easy. He's very susceptible to a lot of ultimates, and he could just get jumped by burst damage, right? Just get killed really quickly. So oftentimes it's just a suicide button. And then, like, his ultimate is much better when it was comboed with Storm, right? Jeff NATO was very good, right? If you got a Storm on your team and you had a Jeff, it was a very good combo because it canceled most support ults. Like, there's nothing they could do about it because you just swallow them and they don't get the healing. But since they removed Jeff NATO, now there's a lot less reason to use his ultimate. Loki. Broken. Not surprised. He's better than Gambit. Okay. He's basically unkillable because of Crystal giving him damage immunity, and the fact that he has teleport and invisibility. They buffed his HP a little bit ago from 250 to 275. That needs to be reverted. Same as, like, maybe Cloak can keep her HP, but Loki should go to 250. Loki should not be higher than 250 because he doesn't need it. So he's still broken. He just copies whatever support ult is the most broken one at the time, and he has a secondary support ult in his crystal. His crystal can shut down ultimates, a lot of them. So just, yeah, really broken. Healing output is good. Damage output is good. He gets his ult quick because of how high it is, and he could copy whichever support ult is the strongest one in the lobby. He'll just copy that character and do that. So really broken, needs a nerf. Luna Snow is worse than Jeff, amazingly enough. They buffed her, and her buff basically did nothing. I don't know what they were thinking when they did some of these buffs. Like, Iron Man and Luna Snow were two, like, some of the worst characters in their classes, and their buffs were nothing. They didn't do anything. Luna Snow and Iron Man basically got the same buff where so Luna Snow got it where if somebody she snowflaked contributes in getting a kill, her clap cooldown will be reduced by 2 seconds. What? Who cares? And the person who I'm snowflaked has to actually contribute to a kill, which means something actually has to die. What? Like, that's such a bad. She's so bad, and that doesn't even help her main problem, which is her survivability sucks. She's the easiest character to kill in the game. That's what they need to. Okay, maybe she's not worse than Adam now. Hold on, let me fix that. There we go. She still sucks. They really need to like change. Like they really need to buff her survivability, or like I don't know, do something, man. Like it's just really like she's really bad. They need to reduce her alt charge cost, I think, because they increased her alt charge to 5,000 back when her ultimate was still 12 seconds. Then they nerfed it from 12 to 10. I think they should have reduced her alt cost when they nerfed the duration of the ultimate, so that her ultimate doesn't last that long, but it last as long, but it comes online quicker. I think that's what they should do. But she's just bad. She's terrible. A character that is not terrible is Magic, and you know what? I'm very tempted to put this character into S tier, and I'm gonna do it. First time in a while I've put a dive character in S tier because dive is just so bad. But I'm gonna put Magic up there. The buff that she got was nice. It was very nice. They nerfed her demon's damage per second by like 9, but then they gave her some nice. So her uppercut got a over 100% range buff, which makes it a lot easier. And I'm telling you, a lot easier to hit her uppercut, which makes it way more forgiving, which is really nice because her uppercut is her main form of getting kills. And then they buffed her ultimate so that her transition time from regular magic to Darkchild is like shorter, so that the enemies have less time to react to you going into it. Her ultimate is incredibly strong, and she's easily the best dive character in the game right now. And that's the first time I put a dive character in S. I think she's really, really good. And once people catch on to that, she's gonna definitely be getting banned more often. Magneto. Magneto is like I play Mag. I like Mag. Mag is overrated. I think he's been for a while. And I think people are realizing how overrated he is now because I barely see people playing Mag anymore. He is not as good as people think he is. People think he's like the best solo tank in the game. Not even close. Okay, I'd put at least 2 tanks over him. The Emma's better at solo tanking for sure, and Strange is better at solo tanking for sure. It's not a question. Now, of course, if they're playing dive, maybe not Strange. Maybe Magneto beats them if they're playing dive. But if they're not playing dive, Strange is better than Mag. And I won't have it any other way because Magneto has zero frontline presence. Zero. And again, I play this. I have so much experience on this character. I've gone to Celestial with this character. He has zero frontline presence. He is a incredibly good off tank. Okay, he's very good at supporting a frontline tank like Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange and Magneto, good combo. Magneto alone, bad combo. Okay, because Magneto offers zero frontline pressure. When let's say I'm solo tanking Strange, and the enemy is solo tanking Magneto. You know what I do? I walk past him because guess what? His damage is so insignificant that I don't care. His damage is so insignificant that I really don't care. So I just walk past him and start abusing his backline because what can he do? He can bubble somebody and that's about it. It's really like he can't do anything. His ultimate is good and that's why he's still in A tiers because his ult is really good. But other than that, I don't think he's good. I really don't. And I like Magneto. He was the first character I Lord iconed. He's just not good. Solo tank, off tank, I think he's really strong and that's why he's still A tier, but I don't think he's as good as people think he is. Mantis. I'm gonna put Mantis low A because I think Mantis is just underrated character and nobody plays her because she had been bad for so long. I think Mantis is so strong and I really like Mantis. Mantis and Cloak both are really good, healthy supports of the game, in my opinion. Now, some people may be like, oh, you like Cloak? Well, yeah, I like Cloak. Mantis is really healthy, again, because she promotes damage dealing. I like when supports have damage dealing utility and Mantis damage boosts. Cloak can apply Discord Cape. I think it's really good for the game because it actually promotes getting kills. Her ultimate, while not the strongest, right, is still a support ultimate. It can help you if you need instant healing really fast. Mantis ult is the one for you, right? It's not a ridiculous invulnerability ultimate for 12 seconds, but it's, it's basically invulnerability for 6 seconds, and it gives you speed boost so you can go and attack the enemy. I really like it. Mr. Fent is the next character in C tier. This character is worse than these two. He is terrible. Okay, if you're going to play Mr. Fantastic, just play a tank. If you're going to play Mr. Fent, pick Strange, pick Emma, pick Magneto, just play a tank. Because Mr. Fent is just a bad tank. Okay? He is there to apply frontline pressure, be a frontline presence, except he's only a frontline presence in his inflated form. Outside of his inflated form, he doesn't have any really presence at all. His damage is really low. His ultimate, it's okay, but it's not great. Just play a tank character. If you like Mr. Fent, trust me, you'll like playing Doctor Strange, because they're basically the same thing, except Doctor Strange actually has a good ultimate and actually can do enough damage to actually get kills. He's terrible. Next, Moon Knight. I think Moon Knight's still really strong. I think Moon Knight is still very good. He's maybe not as good as he was last season. I thought last season was a broken character, but maybe the fact that like ultimates come online less often now is kind of helping, because you're not getting the moon dropped on you 24/7 now. But I still think his damage output is incredibly high, and it is a very, very strong character for just dealing piles and piles of damage. Probably the single hardest counter to triple support for sure. Namor is going to go into, I don't know why that keeps going off. Namor is going to go into low S as well. Again, I think I say this every single time I rank Namor. If Namor did not have the team up, he's going to go like right there. But with the team up, he has to go in S tier because the team up is incredibly strong. So I'm going to put him in S tier because when you pick Hela Namor, it's very hard to beat. I'm putting him low S because, again, he can just drop down to here if he doesn't have to team up. But I'm going to assume it's with the team up because that's pretty much the only reason you play Namor other than, like, counter dive. So that's where he's going. Congratulations to Penny. No, I don't care. I'm putting her there. She's terrible. She's terrible. She's so bad. Even on her good maps, she's bad. She's bad. I mean, she was okay when she had the Rocket team up because she had 2 nests, which was really, really good. And so she could stack like 800 damage in mines. She's terrible. This character is like feeds more ultimate charge than Groot. She doesn't have any CC immunity, which means that she's very easy to pull out. As soon as her nest is down, she might as well be an inanimate object because she doesn't do anything. All right, the nest is the only selling factor of this character. This character would be so bad without her nest, so just kill the nest. Now, in low elo, she probably is like A tier, and she's probably perma banned. But anywhere higher than lower elo, when people know that you could kill the nest, she is absolutely awful. You kill her, and as long as you kill her nest, they're basically down a player because she's so bad, and she just feeds ultimate charge. Her ultimate sucks. It's easy to kill. The only like good factor outside of her nest is her snare, her 3-second stun. But as long as you kill the nest, just kill her. She's so easy to kill. You don't understand, man. Psylocke. I don't see a lot of Psylocke. I think she's probably still strong. But I don't see a lot of her. So I'm gonna put her like there. Like, no, I'm putting her high B. She's going high B. I don't see a lot of Psylocke. I think she's probably still good, but I feel like she's kind of been like, just ignored for like the past ever since they nerfed her ultimate. I don't see Psylocke. I think I've seen like 1 Psylocke in the last 50 games, maybe. Nobody really thinks of this character anymore, to be honest, and I don't mind because I really hated when Psylocke was really strong, and so I'm really happy that she's not strong anymore. Rocket Raccoon. Rocket is good. He's decently survivable. And his ultimate can be good as long as you use it correctly, right? If your teammates understand that the enemies are going to try and kill it really fast, they'll use all of their high damage cooldowns instantly to get the damage boost. and the overhealth, you gotta just make sure Phoenix is banned. I'm saying all this assuming if Phoenix isn't banned, he might as well be D because his ultimate it gets killed instantly. But if Phoenix is banned and you play Rocket, he can be really strong. His healing output isn't outrageous, but his respawn anchor is incredibly strong, and his ultimate can be good. I like his ultimate. Um, it's just Phoenix has to be banned, and you got to make sure that if the Rocket puts it in a stupid spot where it dies instantly, it is really bad. Like he is a really bad character. But if your Rocket uses the amplifier correctly, it's a really nice ultimate. It's a really good support, and I really like him. So I have no complaints about Rocket. Rogue. I'm putting Rogue high A. A lot of tanks are going in A because again, tank is just in general, it's never really a strong role. I'm gonna put Rogue A because Rogue. Maybe I have to actually bump some of these tanks up a little bit because I mean I'm just stacking. Okay, I'll put Groot into high S tier, but I'm putting it in low S tier. And I'm gonna put Emma there too. I think let's do that. Let's do that. Sorry. Rogue is A. She is really strong. It's just you need Gambit to be open because with Gambit ult, she is really, really, really strong. Like really on the verge of broken. Like she would be almost here with Gambit. But since Gambit is permabanned, you really don't have her team up. And if she doesn't have her team up, her damage output is like kind of mid. So she's not that great, but her kit is good. It's just, you need Gambit to be open, and since he's permabanned, you don't really get Gambit that much. So, but I think she's a really solid character. I really like her kit. Um which can I move this? I want to put this high C tier above cap. There we go. She's not good. Very easy to kill. Damage output is low. Ultimate sucks. I think they buffed her. I really didn't pay attention, to be honest, because nobody cares about witch buffs. I mean, this is a low elo terrorist where like anybody who doesn't know how to aim just picks this character and then you hit all your shots. And then of course if she uses her ultimate in low elo, people don't realize that you could just kill her. So I mean, she's just bad, and I bet a lot of players would agree with that. Spider-Man. I'm putting him low B or high B. Sorry. I bet there's gonna be a lot of people who would disagree with that. But I played Spider-Man the other day, and it was rough. I mean, getting kills with the current support comps is just so hard, and again, it's like I said, it's the hardest character in the game to play. And I went to Celestial playing just Spider-Man, and he's fun when he works, but when he works very not often. That was a weird way of saying it, but he just doesn't work that often. Right now, just pick Magic. I'm telling you, if you want to play Dive, please just pick Magic, man. She's so much better. I can't. I think Spider-Man needs a meaningful team up. I think that's what he needs. He just needs the meaningful team up to push him over the edge right now. But they're not going to give it to him because they don't want to make Spider-Man good. They really don't. They don't want Spider-Man to be any higher than B or A tier because then people will complain. So he's going to probably stay there, and they're probably not going to give him a meaningful team because the problem is he's teamed up with Penny, and Penny's the worst tank in the game, hands down. So yeah, he's high B tier, maybe with some like a nasty Spider-Man, probably is S tier, but you have to be incredibly good, and your animation cancels have to be absolutely perfect. So yeah, Star-Lord. I'm gonna throw this character in broken. You don't see many Star-Lords, but I swear to God, when you play against a Star-Lord, he is unkillable. You can't kill him because of his immunity to damage during backflip. His ultimate is incredibly strong, and his general damage output is really, really high. Now, is he as broken as Elsa and Phoenix? No. But fine. Then I'll put him high S because I actually don't think that he's as good as these two. But he's very, very strong. If those two are banned, he's definitely the next best DPS in the game, hands down. Storm, she's terrible. And I'm gonna, you know what? I'll put her right next to Jeff. And I'll put her lower than Jeff. She's lower than Jeff now. She suffers from the same problem as Jeff, is that both of their team up got removed. That team up was kind of the only really selling factor about those two characters, and they completely removed it, and they didn't give them anything to compensate for that. So they both just kind of are mid now, kind of niche, very niche picks. Easy, like Storm is easy to kill. Her damage boost is like the value that it provides is incredibly limited. And again, with how broken hit scans are still, you just pick a hit scan and she'll fall over. Skirl Girl is noob bait. We all know this. Low B. I'm putting her high C. I'm not even putting her in B. She's noob bait. If you play in low elo, she's kind of like Penny and Scarlet Witch, where she get infinite value at low elo. But outside of like, as soon as you get above plat, she feeds. She feeds alt charge because her damage just like converts into alt charge for the opposing supports. And then her ultimate is very easy to kill when people actually know that you can kill it, which is higher elo. She's really bad, and she's pretty easy to kill because her hitbox is really big. So you just like when I'm playing tank pool, she's number one target because I could headshot her permanently. It's really easy. So she's terrible. Punisher. I think this character is like really strong. Like dead ass. Shotgun only Punisher is like I've never seen a more reason to play this character. Like I swear to God, people are sleeping on how broken this character is. Shotgun only. He can one tap you. He literally can one tap you. I've died to him while playing Magic while I had overhealth. Like I think I was at like something like 280 and he just one tapped me. Full one tap. Like I literally watched the replay back and I was at full health plus overshield and I still got one shot. My brother was playing Venom the other day. He got two shot. 800 to 0. Two shots with the shotgun. It was ridiculous. It's incredibly strong, the shotgun. His AR is terrible. You shouldn't play with his AR. His AR sucks. But his shotgun is very good. His turret is terrible. Like, but the shotgun is so good that you kind of like if you play Punisher with shotgun only, it's actually so good. It's insane because it literally you can kill anybody. Like anybody in like 2 or 3 shots. It's incredibly broken and they need to nerf that shotgun. Thing-a-ling is gonna probably go right there, right in the middle of the other. I'm putting them right in the middle of the other tanks in A tier. A lot of the like at least like in general, none of the tanks are lower than A tier. Like there's a couple, but in general, all the tanks are like A or S tier this season. So they're not like broken. They're just like solid. I see a lot of things. He's good at countering dive. And he can be solid against brawl. It's just you have to actually have a shield tank. Because if you play Thing without a shield tank, he is kind of just free food. He's really you just alt charge, right? His ultimate is good, and a good thing is like a good thing on your team is like a really influential factor. I think he's really solid and he's in a good spot right now. He does kind of just end up being just dive counter though. Like if they're playing Magic BP, just you go Thing, just cancel everything, which is kind of annoying, but that's it. Thor. I'm gonna put him in A. I think just a lot of tanks are really solid this season. I mean, Thor is really good. I'm gonna put him actually really high on the list because I think he's just really solid this season. His damage output is incredibly high. And he has a lot of survivability. Like I realized recently, he has like a lot of survivability. That I didn't realize before. So he's just really solid. This season. Not much to say. Just solid character. Like all these tanks, they're just solid. They're not broken. They're just solid. Ultron, while he's very annoying to play against, I can't say that he's terrible. He's not worse than these. His drone is pretty good. He's very good against dive because he just flies above them and it's very hard to kill him. So he's annoying. He's only good in triple support, which is basically it's kind of the reason why most of the supports are in B tier is you could only play them in triple support. Mantis is only triple support, but she's really good when she is in triple support, which is why she's higher. But Luna cannot. Luna can work in 2 supports, but she's very vulnerable, which is why she's there. But the other supports that are in that category are there only because, like, mostly because they only work in triple support. So that's mostly why they're there. But Ultron's kind of the same thing as most of the other supports in this category. He's mid. His ultimate isn't that great. His utility isn't incredibly good, and the selling factor is that he's really good against dive, which is why he's even that high. Venom is like right there with Spider-Man. They're both just mid right now. Supports are still strong, so it's still very hard to confirm kills with either of these characters right here, which is why they're still there. Now dive, like these two characters feast on Luna, right? So and Adam. So like they're still like they're okay. They're just not that good, right? They're very niche picks, right? You just be better off picking like Rogue and Magic. Like if you want to play Venom Spidey, just pick Rogue and Magic, and he'll do infinitely times better. But I mean, he's not useless. He's just not that great. White Fox. This is the hardest one for me. I really don't know where to put this character. So, yeah, White Fox is brand new. And so I don't know entirely where to put her. I haven't played her yet. And I have played with her a lot because a lot of players are playing her because she's brand new. But I don't think I think it's almost too early for me to tell. Um, but I'm gonna go off of what I've seen so far. Although I do want to note for anybody watching this that I am not entirely sure. Um, when I put her here, it's going to be a more of a guess or a feeling and less of a no for sure. So I'm gonna put her at low A. Or you know what? No, I'm gonna put her at mid A. And I'll tell you why. I'm gonna put her below Rocket. Um, Based on what I've seen so far, she has a couple of weaknesses. So glaring weakness number one, one that everybody knows about already, is her ultimate isn't that good, at all. Um, it is. It's the first ultimate that I've seen that you change forms and you kind of like it's a big 900 HP character that just can get could get choke slammed, it could get picked up by Glartrox, it could get hooked off the map by Spider-Man. It's very it's a very weird thing how it works, and it's not that good. The damage is low and the healing output is not that great either. Um and it's very easy to kill, kind of like Squirrel Girl ultimate. So it's just not that good. And then um the main selling point for her is her teleport and her right click. Those are definitely her best abilities. Her right click is it's like a Emma Frost mind control, but it lasts significantly less time than that. But it's on a 6-second cooldown and it can be used basically on cooldown. And it's pretty good, and it can cancel ultimates, and it can actually just turn off ultimate effects completely, which is crazy. Um, and then her teleport is really good because it gives her very good mobility, the ability to get out of trouble very easily, and it can teleport and it could save allies for sure. But outside of those two abilities, she's just not got that much going for her. Her melee form is pretty weak. And it could definitely get her into trouble if you try and go in with melee and you just die. Um, and it is like another YouTuber said, it's very buggy, right? Her climbing when she does the backflip over the player's head, it's very glitchy, and you could end up very disoriented from your own ability, which is not ideal. So in general, she's just not that strong right now. However, maybe in a little bit of time when people learn how to play her, maybe she will actually turn out to be really really strong. But based on what I'm seeing right now, she's okay. She's not incredibly strong. Bucky is high A. I don't see him played that much anymore, but he's still a solid character. His ultimate is still good, and he still gets a lot of overhealth from all of his abilities, and his hook and his punch are really, really strong. I think he's just a solid pick. He's just not picked as much as these DPS up here for sure. And then finally Wolverine. Wolverine, I'm gonna put like like lower A. And I'll put him below Daredevil because I know people are gonna be crying. Wolverine is still pretty solid, I think actually. The problem is he's just got there's a lot of tank characters that he's not great against. Now, obviously, I say tank characters because Wolverine doesn't really play against anything. Like when you pick Wolverine, it's to abuse the tanks. Like let's be honest, that's how it works. Um, he's really good against Groot and Strange. right? If you're having problems with Groot or Strange, just go Wolverine. He's very easy to counter. But if the enemies then go like Thing, Emma, even Hulk, like you don't get that much value out of Wolverine because those characters have very easy ways to dodge your kidnap and can actually kind of turn it against you. Where like Emma, if she catches you with the choke slam, you're kind of just cooked. Um, but his ultimate is still very good. I'll be honest, his ultimate is the big selling factor. He's got one of the better DPS ults in the game, I would say, because it's one of the few ults that I'm very confident in using to cancel most support ultimates. Cloak ult, very easy to cancel. Invis ult can be a little challenging, but still, if you you use it correctly, it can be easy to cancel. Um, his ultimate can cancel Gambit ult if if you kidnap Gambit, if you hit him. And in general, it's just a good team wipe ultimate. It like you can, as long as you do the kidnap into like let's say you kidnap a tank, you bring them towards instead of bringing them back to your team, you bring them towards the enemy's backline, and then you instantly ult and instantly trigger the ultimate on top of the enemy supports. It kind of there's no reacting to it. It's an insta kill. It's really nice ultimate. And it's really good for countering a lot of ultimates, right? You could like solo ult Bucky, you could solo ult Magic ult, you could solo ult Hawkeye ult. You can, if you're really really good, you could actually catch Star-Lord with his ultimate. It's just a really nice his ultimate is very very nice, which is a very big selling factor. His biggest problem is that his downtime is incredibly long. He needs to wait for his kidnap to come back to be engaged in the fight. If he doesn't have kidnap, he kind of just sits there and waits for kidnap to come back. So you have to be very accurate with the kidnap to get maximum value out of this character. But if you hit your kidnaps, he's a very strong character. And I think that is it for my Marvel Rivals tier list, season 7. Um I think this is pretty accurate, to be honest, for my elo. And I actually I can't believe it. I have Tank Fool as the best tank in the game right now, which might be correct considering how much he's getting banned. I really don't think that he needs any more nerfs, to be honest. I liked like his nerfs were like they weren't like incredibly like big nerfs, but I really don't think he should be nerfed because I think he's a healthy tank because giving tanks the ability to actually fight back, I think, is a good thing, right? And it's like we were overdue to have a tank that was pretty damn strong in the game. So I think they should leave it. And I think Groot is overrated. So that's my Marvel Rivals tier list for season 7. This might change based on how the season develops, and obviously it's going to change when Black Cat comes in. Um, but yeah, so let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you agree with this list? Do you disagree with some stuff? What would you change? Um, but yeah, I really appreciate y'all for staying to the end of the video. If you enjoyed this video, please consider dropping a like and subscribing. And I'll see y'all in the next one.